So, hello everyone. We are back with another episode of the series Python Snippets interview series by Akansha Academy. Okay, so here in Akansha Academy, what we are doing, we are uploading videos related to Python snippets. These are actual coding questions which you can expect during a coding interview or like interview which involves Python. Whether you are appearing as a data engineer or automation tester or any such roles which involves Python, you might get any of these questions. Okay, so please be with us, stay with us. Okay, you can watch the entire series and then you will be almost ready for your next interview. Okay, so in this video, what we are asked, explaining, we are explaining questions around Python dictionaries. Okay, so we will start with the first question, merge two dictionaries. And before that, we'll explain the approach. Okay, the approach is we break down any kind of problem into three steps. One is like understanding the question. Okay, if we understand the question well, we can at least think about an approach to solve the problem. Okay, and second step will be thinking about an approach to programmatically solve the problem. Okay, or like creating the skeleton of the code. And the next and the last step would be actual coding or actual implementation in Python. But please understand that the first and the second step being the most important step. If you understand the question, if you have an approach to implement the solution, actual implementation of code is very simple, which you will observe during this video. Okay, so as we always say, how do you learn something is by implementation. So let's start implementing the question. So we initialize the first dictionary D1 and we initialize the second dictionary D2. And here in this question, in D1 we have three elements, in D2 we have two elements. And what we want to merge both the dictionaries into a single dictionary containing 3 plus 2, that is 5 elements. Okay, so this question is pretty simple. Okay, and if there was a way to just like merge these two dictionaries, it would have been like very easy, right? But here it involves a concept called unpacking. Okay, we have list unpacking, tuple unpacking. Similarly, we have dictionary unpacking. And in dictionary unpacking, because we have two values, okay, the key and the value, like two entities are involved, so we need to use double asterisk sign. Okay, I'll show you how. Let's suppose we have this dictionary and I want to unpack the dictionary D1. Okay, so it is printing the like all the elements, right? Now we can use the same unpacking to unpack both the dictionaries together. So it would be D1 comma D2. And what it will do, it will unpack both the dictionaries. And if we want to store it somewhere, we can even store the results at D1 and then unpack elements of D2. And if we print unpack dictionary, so it will have all the elements. Okay, so we understood the question, we had an approach of unpacking, and then the implementation was pretty simpler. Also, like as I was saying that similarly we can do list unpacking. Okay, but in the list we do not have two elements involved in a like a single item. Okay, right, we have initialized the list. Now if we need to combine this list together, what we can do is we can again use this unpacking L1, then L2, unpacked values of L2, and unpacked values of L3. And it will create a single list which will have all the elements together, right? I hope this unpacking scenario is pretty clear now. With this, let's move to the next question, which is inverting dictionaries, where the keys become values and the values become keys. Okay. So let's understand the question first. Let's suppose we have a dictionary D1 where we have three elements A, B, and C being the keys, and 1, 2, 3 are the values. Okay. And now, as a result, in the result set, what we need is another dictionary where the keys A, B, and C becomes values, right? And the values becomes keys. 1, 2, 3 becomes keys. So how to do that? We will like use the iteration. Okay, we will iterate through all the elements in the dictionary, and in the result dictionary we can just initialize the value with key. Okay, so iteration is the key thing here, and now we will start with the actual implementation. So let's initialize this one, and inverted dictionary will be an empty dictionary. And now what we'll do, we'll loop through, because we have two elements in the dictionary D1, and let's iterate through all the items in the dictionary. Now, for each and every element, we will start initializing the value as key, and we'll mark key as the value, right? And if we print this inverted dictionary, you can see that the keys became the value and the value became the key. Okay. So this is again very important question during the interviews, and like if you are giving 10 interviews, you can expect 4 to 5 interviews will have this question. Okay. And this will be moving to the last question of today's video, which is count word frequency in a string. So if you are following Akansha Academy videos very closely, you might have observed that we have already a couple of questions in our previous videos related to counting the number of occurrence of characters in a list, right? So similarly, this is count word frequency in a string. What we can do, let's suppose we have data engineering with Python, and Python is repeating twice, so the word Python will have the frequency 2, and data engineering and with will have frequency 1 each, right? So basically we need to count this frequency in the entire sentence, right? So what we can do, we can use the counter function in from the collection. Okay, but before that we need a list where every word is an element of the list, right? And then we can straight away use the counter. So this is our approach. The question is clear, the approach is clear. Now we'll start with the actual implementation. Let's initialize a variable called sentence with data engineering with Python. Okay. Now what we'll do, we'll try to create a list. Okay. So it will be sentence. Uh, First of all, because uh, maybe some values are in init cap, some values are lowercase, some values are uppercase. Let's make everything to lowercase. Okay, so this makes everything lowercase. Now another very important part would be to split, okay, each and every element in this string to a list. Okay, and in split method, if we do not provide any delimiter, it will take space or tab as the delimiter, and it will separate out each and every element, right? So it will create 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 elements in the list. Let's see how it goes. So we have 5 elements in the list. Data engineering with Python, and Python is repeating twice, all in lowercase. So we are done with this. Now, as we discussed, we'll be using the counter from collections. We need to import the counter method, and then initialize this frequency as we'll be using counter, and then we will use this entire thing. So basically what we are doing, we are counting the frequency of elements in the list. As we did with the characters in the list, similarly, we'll be doing this. Okay, and if we print the frequency, so you can see that it has created a dictionary with elements in the list as the key and the frequency of repetition as the value. And with this, like our question is solved. So what we observed that if we break down the question into simpler steps, if we understand the question well, and also how we solve one question, or the approach which we have used to solve one question could be used to solve another coding question. So it is very important to go through like multiple variations of the same method, you can say, right? So thank you so much, guys, for staying till this point in our video. Please like the video, share the video, and subscribe to Akansha Academy for more such videos. Thank you so much.